And then Baby Lane, Orlando Anderson, gets killed a few years later.
Right.
Which is tragic, man. That was a real Compton young entrepreneur right there, man. A real young entrepreneur right there. He really would have taught a whole lot of young dudes how to really eat out here, man. Because he knew how to eat. He knew how to put it together. Right?
Well, I guess at one point, Orlando actually testified on Suge Knight's behalf, saying that Suge didn't actually kick him and
Yeah, he was
whatever
trying to
else.
actually help him, but it didn't really help. But he tried to, you know.
But they were saying that Suge paid him off.
Probably.
You know, at that point, it's like, why not?
I would have too, yeah.
Yeah. But Suge went to prison anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
And at that point, Baby Lane died, and everyone else in the car. There was another guy in the car who died, I guess, of natural reason. I mean, I guess he was really overweight, and he died of natural reason. Someone else, I believe, got killed. And at this point, Keefe's the only surviving member of that. And he spoke on it various times, you know, on various specials.
And we knew every one of them dudes personally. Every one of them dudes you talking about personally.
Yeah, and I think that even with Keefe's confession, there's always going to be some gray area around that whole situation, because it's still a cold case.
Yeah.
All these years later, 20-something years later.
There's still a lot of money being made just from telling the story, man.
Yeah.
You know, I just had 2 songs on the Biggie and Tupac series on the USA Network.
Oh, okay.
I have 2 joints on there produced by
You did a great
Irvin
job
Pope
of that,
with
by the way.
Furnace. Yeah, I have 2 joints on there, so it's just it's business now, believe, in my opinion. You know what I mean? The stories is like those are Elvises. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think the people is gonna, as long as Hollywood knows they can keep drawing some attention to it and have people intrigued by it, you know, it's gonna keep trying to figure out who's this and who did that.
Yeah, and I mean, when Orlando got killed, I looked up that whole situation. That was a mess. It was, I guess, a shootout at a car wash where a bunch of people got killed in the process. Like,
What had happened was Orlando's grandmother had passed away the night before. And apparently he had been drinking all night with one of his best friends, Michael DeRoe. And they went over to a place called Mom's Burgers across the street from the car wash to get something to eat. Well, he sees a guy that owes, from another gang in Compton, a Crip set in Compton, that owes his uncle and his friend DeAndre, I forgot if it was $5,000, $10,000, somewhere in there, about $5,000, over some cocaine.
yeah.
So he decides, because they've been drinking and everything else, they got a gun in the car, they're going to go over and jam him up about the money he owes. Well, this guy's from another gang in Compton called Corner Pocket. And some of the other Corner Pocket gang members were there, and they started coming up like, hey, what's this all about? Why are you jamming them up? And next thing you know, Orlando pulls out a gun and shoots 2 of the Corner Pocket persons that are there, or shoots one of them right away. And then another Corner Pocket guy starts shooting back at Orlando and pretty much hits him dead center. I mean, he wasn't alive much longer after that. His partner that was in the car with Orlando took the gun and then started shooting back and ended up shooting another Corner Pocket guy that shot Orlando. They went around the corner, crashed the car, and we were pulling up there when Orlando was being pulled out of the car. The other guy took off running, dumping the gun. And we're waiting for paramedics, and one of our partners, Ray Richardson, was over there talking to Orlando, and he was basically taking his last breaths at that time. And 2 of the persons at the gas station that they were shooting at also died that day. So it was a triple murder, and it was all dope related.
It was right by Compton High School, actually, at a
In
car
the back
wash.
of the high school.
And the cold thing is, like, the guy who, what's it,
Stone?
yeah,
Jerry
well,
Stone.
Jerry Stone.
Yeah,
Jerry
Mike
kind of
Stone.
like family to us. The
Yeah,
cold
we
part
all
about it.
love one.
Like our cousin, he got babies by one of our cousins. Like, I think those are his first kids. If not, they're some of his earliest kids. But
I
so
knew
all
what
that
the whole
stuff is
conflict
crazy.
was about between them and everything. That's when Lane just drove me around and showed me a whole lot of shit he had going on. And that was one of the situations that he revealed to me that was going on at that moment.
Oh, you mean the
But I didn't know it
situations
was-
where he got killed?
Yeah, I didn't know it was that serious though. I didn't know it wasn't supposed to be that serious. It was supposed to have been just, you know what I mean? I'm gonna get the bread
It's a
to you,
whole
you know what I mean? Some shit
backstory.
like
Yeah,
that.
it's a
Yeah,
backstory.
I heard it was over drug money owed or something like that.
Yeah,
supposed to
but
be all
see,
that.
it wasn't even that, bro. It was a few people on both sides, right?
Yeah.
And these people, you would call them trigger happy. Like, you know what I mean? Like they have a problem with, you know, if they feel like they being tested, they pulling their things out.
Automatic.
You know what I mean? And I know 2 people in that situation on both
They
sides.
both was the same,
they
identical.
same
They was
type
twins.
of people. You know what I mean? So I'm assuming, you know, how
But I
that
just know
all-
Lane wasn't expecting it to go. I mean, he prepared. If it was, he thought he was prepared for it, but he wasn't really. He just like, you know, these niggas. You know, I thought it was gonna be
The
resolved
way they say
differently.
Lane, I mean, according to what I heard, and I ain't, you know, I don't like talking to his family about it, yo, because it bring back too much stuff. But from what I heard is they was already leaving the scene, and one of the guys who was hit actually got up and still started shooting before he died, and a bullet came down and came through the back and went through Lane's back seat and hit him in the shoulder. And I think the homie was scared to drive him to the hospital or something like that. So kind of bled out.
Timing, man. Timing is crucial, man. For anybody out there, I have to say that as a
But
survivor.
that's the story I heard.
Timing
And I
is
was
crucial, man.
I heard that in jail, so I don't know.